listening to the voices behind Women's Cricket Chat. That's Alex, Hannah, Georgie and Cassie. Coming up on today's podcast, we've got Northwest Thunder and Manchester Originals bowler Laura Jackson. Not only that, Laura was voted Breakthrough Player of the Year for this season. Not only that, her hard work has certainly paid off as she was just awarded her first full-time professional contract. We sat down with Laura just before the contracts were announced and we talked to her about all things cricket, Thunder, Manchester Originals and what it was like to go to Australia when she was 18 and ride in a hot air balloon.
Yeah, so welcome Laura to Women's Cricket Chat this week. Note Alex has got her 100 bottle there. So welcome to Women's Cricket Chat. Obviously, you know everything we're about, celebrating the women's game. And then we went for the cheeky DM slide after you were named Thunder Cricket's Breakthrough Player of the Year. So that was pretty cool. So talk us through what that was like and what this season has been like for you.
Oh, well, it was an absolute shock getting the awards, to be honest, because we had the award night and going into the awards, we didn't know what was going to be awarded because it was the first time since COVID and having the presentation. And obviously, Lammy swept up Player of the Year, fully deserved. She had an amazing year. And then next minute, they announced the Breakthrough Player of the Year, and I didn't even think twice. And next minute, my name got mentioned and I just kind of sat there, my eyes wide open, couldn't believe that my name had just been called and everyone was staring at me at the table going like, Laura, elbowing me, like, go off. I was like, all right, okay. So started walking up and the room was full of people and I was just so happy. I couldn't believe it. I just was just so grateful and I've just been given such a great opportunity this year and I can't wait for what the future holds really. So the presentation was a really fun night. But then this year it's just been amazing. I think, to be honest, COVID's kind of helped this year because I've been in Australia previously. So I came home and trained in the winter. So I think if it wasn't for me training in the winter and made the improvements that I needed to make, I wouldn't be sat here today doing the things that I've done this season. So it's just been incredible.
And you just touched there on the fact that in 2019 you did spend your winter in Australia, in Melbourne to be precise. One of the things you got to experience was travelling in a hot air balloon. So tell us what that was like.
Oh, it was great. The bad part was I had the semi-final that morning, so I had to get up at 3 or 4 in the morning and go on this hot air balloon. But it was incredible because they said to us, depending on the wind, we might be able to go through the city, or if the wind's bad, we'll have to go around. And luckily enough, the wind was fine, so we got to go through all like the skyscrapers and buildings and things like that. And it was incredible. It wasn't just us and the company that we travelled with. There was loads of other companies from all different areas, and there must have been about 30, 40 hot air balloons all in the sky at once. It was just breathtaking, just getting to see the city. It just went on for miles. So that was really good.
And it's one of those things, like you're in Australia, you're doing incredible things like that, and you're the other side of the world playing the sport that you love. So obviously you would have gone to see cricket at the MCG. When you were there, did you find yourself being like, okay, right, I want to play here?
Oh, 100%, yeah. I went there as much as I could. The Big Bash I went to a lot. I went to the Boxing Day Test. Always tried to just go at any time I could, and it's just such a great place. It's the stadium that I've not experienced before, and one of the years I actually went there, my club had the chance to do a catching competition at the Boxing Day Test on the third day, so I actually got to go on the pitch. Crowd was a bit rowdy, they had a few beers by then. And I was the only girl in the club doing it, so I felt a lot more pressure. I think I was the only English one as well, and it was
Yeah, so obviously you got to experience some amazing things while you were out in Australia, but what actually led you to go there in the first place? It's quite a big step at that age.
Yeah, so I was at the end of college and I applied for all my university applications, and it got to the month of where I got my results and managed to get into uni, but then I just wasn't really feeling it. Didn't think uni was for me because no one in my family actually went to uni. And then I thought, oh, someone kind of mentioned Australia. I said that sounds exciting and something I'd like to do. But at that age, I thought only like top players could go, as if like if you played for England then you could go. So I spoke to Jen Barden at Lancs, and she put me forward to the people that knew people in Australia, and they managed to get me an interview on Skype at the time with a club that was looking for another female player, and it was organised very, very last minute. And I had the interview, and right at the end of it he said, yeah, right, we would love to have you. Do you fancy coming over? I was like, are you sure? Me? But yeah, and I was absolutely delighted. And then within about 2 or 3 weeks, I was jetting off to Australia on my own at 18. So that's what kind of got me there. And I hit jackpot with the club that I got to. I didn't look at any of the clubs. It was just that one, to be honest. And they've done so good for me.
What was so fab about the club?
It was big to start with. I think there was about 20 something junior teams, 6 men's team and only 1 women's team. And I was just able to play. I could play under 18s at that point because girls can play a year or 2 below. I then played men's on a Saturday, and then I played women's on a Sunday. So I was able to get all the cricket in that I wanted, and so many junior teams. I was able to coach as much or as little as I wanted, to get some extra pocket money in. And it was in the heart of Melbourne, so like the world was my oyster. I didn't have to drive because there's trams everywhere. They sorted my accommodation for me, and I just met some amazing people.
And Melbourne is so cool. It's such a cool place. It's hip
so good,
as us oldies say. But like the brunch, the coffee, the rooftop bars, and you're all set.
Oh, you've nailed it there, yeah.
Yeah. I did a weekend there, and I think I spent about $800. It was astonishing. I was like, oh my God, I don't have $800. What have I done? But yeah, it's just amazing. And so, yeah, obviously you just up sticks at 18 and went.
Yes.
Would you be looking to go back again?
Yeah, I would. I absolutely loved it, and it done me the world of good going there. But I realised that the winter I had in England last year has improved me so much because we got all the coaches in. So I also want to improve as well while I'm still young. So I definitely do want to go back, but I do need to try and balance what's best for my career.
Just quickly, also on your stint in Australia, you played in the inaugural regional Big Bash for the Melbourne Stars, and in your match you were player of the match with figures of 3 for 12 off 4 overs. That's astonishing. Talk us through that.
Oh yeah, that was another incredible experience I had. Yeah, they got all the players from all the different leagues and just put us in a team together, and it was great because you're used to playing them week in and week out, trying to get them out and trying to win and everything, and then next minute you're all putting a team together, and it felt rather strange. But then we all had a joke saying, yeah, I'm glad we're on the same team. I don't have to try and get you out this week. And it was just a great laugh. And just the women's community all came together. It was so nice just to be with each other and talk all about women's cricket and how it can improve, what we're doing good. And yeah, it was such a lovely day being with everyone.
And obviously Australia has been kind of leading the way in women's cricket. Did you find that it was quite different while you're out there to what you see over here, and you're like, this is why they've got such a good foundation and they're doing so well at the elite level?
Yeah, it was quite different, especially when I first went out, and it took a few seconds to get my head around what leagues they have, because obviously they've obviously got the Big Bash, which is absolutely incredible. Then they got state cricket, then Premier cricket, and then just club cricket. So it was tough to get the head around. But then once I'd realised everything that was going on, it was good to start talking to people and seeing what different pathways there were, and when you start off at grassroots, what's the way forward. And I did quite a lot of coaching there, so I was really trying to push the juniors in the right direction. But yeah, they do have it right, and I'm glad to see England are starting to take steps to do what they're doing.
Obviously, you played in Australia in those formats, and then you've been over here this summer playing in the inaugural 100. Do you think that's really taken a step towards the kind of level that you want in Australia and the professionalism of the women's game over here?
Oh, 100%. The 100 was exactly what we needed. And as I mentioned before, I think COVID helped with that as well, because then we were playing in the stadiums alongside the men, which we wouldn't have got the crowds in otherwise. And yeah, just that month of cricket it was just so exciting. And anyone and everyone who knew I was taking part in it wanted to talk to me about it, whether they knew what cricket was or not. And my next door neighbours were absolutely loving life, texting me all the time, talking about the 100, and they don't know too much about cricket. So it was just the hype around it, how exciting it was. I think it's exactly what we needed. And all my friends from Australia too watched it, saying like they hope they get to have it in their country as well, because it just looks so much fun. So I definitely think it was in the right direction.
And obviously there was a lot of hype around the first match of the 100. They decided to go with a standalone women's match, which you played in. What was it like for you as a player to play in the first ever 100 match and for it to be a women's match?
Oh, that first game was absolutely incredible. Because I got signed. I was the last player to get signed in the originals. So I was just so excited for the experience, just to be around those players, just to be around the professionalism, because I've never been around it before. And then when I got told I was playing, I was just I nearly fell off my chair, I think. And then I was just so keen to get it going, but I do get nervous, so I can remember I was just trying to breathe and get myself through it. And a few of the girls on the team kept checking if I was okay, because they knew that I'd not been a part of anything like this. But yeah, as soon as it started kicking off, those fireworks at the start of the game, just I had goosebumps. I can remember the person I was sitting next to, I was just like, oh my god, I've got goosebumps. And it was just incredible. And just the crowd again, like getting such a good crowd first game just for a women's game, I just kept saying to myself, we're writing history here, this is going to be amazing. And but yeah, I can remember when I first started bowling, because I didn't know if I was going to be bowling in the power play or not, but I think I had one of the last bits in the power play, and Crossy ended up coming over to me. He was like, are you okay, Laura? I was like, yeah, I just can't really feel my legs at the minute. And then she's like, okay, right, we're just going to stand here, I'm going to breathe, and you're going to be absolutely fine. I can remember that first ball I bowled, I couldn't feel my legs at all. I don't really know how I got that ball down there in the first point, but yeah, it all went well first game, and it was just so exciting to be a part of.
Yeah, and what's quite nice, I guess, for you, that quite a lot of the Manchester OGs were, Northwest Thunder players, so you probably knew them quite well. Was it a bit of a different dynamic having Crossy as a captain instead of Hartley?
To be fair, no, because Crossy's been captain a couple of times previous years for different things, and she's always been quite a senior player in the team, and she's always tried to help as much as she could, being a seam bowler like myself. So I just knew that we were in safe hands, and she would always have my best interest at heart, and we can always have a laugh as well. So I trust her completely, and I think it worked out pretty well.
And the Manchester original side had such a vast wealth of talent from the international players, with the likes of Mignon Dupree, Harmanpreet Kaur. What was it like to be in and amongst those players, and what did you learn from them?
I was starstruck, because I've not really been around players of that caliber before. But I went into it thinking I just want to absorb as much as I can, because they've been there, they've done that, they're used to this, and I know I just had so much to learn from them. So I wanted to see how they warmed up, how they trained, what their pre-match routines were, and I was just trying to get as much in as I could from them as possible. And then, of course, we got Sophie Eccleston in our team as well, and we don't get to play with her much at Northwest or Lancs with her being so busy. And it was good to see how she did her match routines as well, because everyone's just so different, and I'm still learning myself. So I just wanted to see what was best for me as well. So yeah, it was just amazing to be around them.
And so for youngsters out there, you used to call yourself an oldie, but 23 is not old. Youngsters out there looking up to you as a role model and that kind of thing. Obviously, it was different when you first started playing. Didn't you just start playing at a social barbecue or something like that?
Yeah, that was
so
it.
Now they've got people like you to look up to. But yeah, tell us the story of how a barbecue got you playing cricket.
Well, I hadn't really heard of cricket, to be honest, growing up, because I'm an only child, so didn't have any brothers or sisters to play in the back garden with. And my parents are badminton mad. So badminton was my sport when I was growing up. And yeah, my friend, I think I was 11 or 12, something like that, said that our local cricket club had cricket on a Friday. Did I want to come along? And I said, oh, I don't know, I'll be training for badminton then. And she said, but Laura, there's a barbecue, and it's summer, so you've got to have a barbecue. I went, oh, go on, yeah, okay. You know, gotta love some sausage and burgers on the barbecue after you've just played some cricket. And I thought, yeah, lovely, I'll go for that. And then the bar was open for the parents, and it was just a lovely summer's night evening for everyone. And yeah, it just kind of went from there. And then the girls started to grow, and we got a district side set up, and there was just loads of people from my school, because we had a very sporty school. And then, yeah, I think at the age of 14, I got Lancs trials. Unfortunately, didn't get in, which was no problem. Just continued to work hard. My dad got me one-to-one sessions at Old Trafford to try and get in. And then the following year at 15, I got into the Lancs squad. And yeah, to think back then I'd be where I am now, I never would have believed you. So yeah, just put in all the hard work, and you never know where it gets you.
And you obviously said that you kind of fell into cricket in the sense that you just went to a barbecue and just picked up a bat and started playing. Did you have any role models as you progressed further on in your career, or was it just sort of more male role models or female, or what was it really?
Yeah, I don't think I had too many role models growing up, because I was just so new to it, and I was just doing what my friends were doing at the barbecue. But as I did get older, obviously Freddie Flintoff was a huge icon, and him being at Lancs as well. I just always kept an eye out for him, and I just loved his personality as well. I just liked that he brought something else to cricket. He wasn't just great at it. He also brought like just all of his jokes and his personality. So I definitely looked up to him. But then we got into a lot of school tournaments, indoor competitions with my school, and Danny Hazel was there a lot of the time. And again, great personality, loved her, and yeah, she just always had a laugh. So again, I always looked up to her because I just wanted to enjoy it as well, and she always looked like she was enjoying cricket. So I think those two are the main ones that stood out to me.
Would you say that enjoying it is sort of ingrained, an integral part for you? Because would you say there's no point doing it if you're not enjoying it?
Yeah. To be really honest with you, I don't think it's until this year that I've truly been able to say I've enjoyed every part of my cricket this summer. This summer has just been so epic. I've loved every second of it. I've been laughing, I've made new friends, and it's really shone a different light on how good the sport is, because I always just played to win, really, and be the best I could, which of course is very important. But if you enjoy it on the side, then you've just got best of both worlds, and you just want to keep going, and then it's more motivation for you to do better.
And like you said, it's been a whirlwind summer for you. You've made loads of friends and stuff like that. Social media also came into play a lot with the 100, with each team being assigned a content creator. How did you find that process for someone who perhaps may not have dealt with the media as much as other players in your team?
It was great. I kind of wanted to grab it with two hands because I thought it was a great opportunity, and the fact that we had someone following us around all the time who was just so keen to get the content out there and to grow just like the brand, the image, all of us. And yet that was a lovely person who we had as well. And, you know, it was just great. And then when you see on the Instagram page that your face is on there, your name's on there, and people are actually supporting you for just being you, it really gave a lot of confidence and a bit of a boost, which I didn't know I needed. So yeah, I think it was such a good idea of doing it.
And just on your confidence, is that what helped you perhaps with the TikToks with Hartley to get them out there?
Oh gosh, yes, yeah. I did say to myself I would never ever download TikTok, and then I downloaded it, and then I said I'd never make a TikTok, and then yeah, here we are. No, it's just a good laugh. I'm definitely not going to be doing any serious ones, but yeah, I just like the funny ones. It's just a bit of a laugh, and then seeing people's responses is really funny, and you know, just being silly with people, pulling pranks on people, just make light of every situation.
I think a lot of that sort of helped with the whole atmosphere of it, you know, making it accessible to younger, older, male, female families and everyone really, rather than it just be what, you know, your traditional cricket fans. I think that was something that was great like that. Do you think it's going to inspire a whole new generation to come through?
Definitely. Like you could see from the 100, the kids in the crowd, and then when we were at the grounds themselves, there were so many kids just around the grounds. And I can remember it was rainy one day, and we were just doing some training, warming up in the indoor centre. And then as I was walking out, there were all kids just waiting at the fence, waiting for us to come out, asking for pictures. And you can just see how excited they were. And the social media will help with the young people of cricket, because like they get to see it outside of cricket as well, and they get to see that we're not just a cricketer, like we have a personality as well, and you can get to know us. So yeah, I do think it's very important having the social media and with the youngsters.
So going forward from here, obviously you're now a TikTok sensation, but on the cricketing side, what are your aspirations from here on? So I'm guessing you'd be hoping to return to the OGs next summer, but do you have international aspirations, or go back to the Big Bash, or looking at the Commonwealth next year? Will you be there watching, or hoping to join the England squad at some point?
Oh, well, 100% the dreams to get back to the OGs. So again, amazing summer, amazing experience, and I don't want to miss out next year. So 100% really want to try my hardest to get into that. And to be honest with you, I've never really had any dreams beyond getting the highest I could in Lancashire, obviously now not the Thunder team, but just seeing that you don't have to be an England superstar, that you can play in the Big Bash. So, you know, it's starting to get me thinking, like, where can I go from here? And, you know, like to play in the Big Bash, that would be absolutely amazing. But yeah, I always like to try.
Obviously there's a lot of the girls out there at the moment playing, so have you been watching them thinking, yeah, that's gonna be me?
Yeah, definitely. Very jealous, but yeah, it just spurs me on to work even harder, knowing that I could eventually get there. But yeah, like the world's our oyster, and women's cricket's new and it's going places, so I won't say no to anything. I'm just going to keep working hard and see where it can take me.
Just on the Manchester OGs, COVID was obviously a big factor this year. I'm not sure whether the teams were allowed to intermingle. So if you were, what kind of questions would you like to pick the brains of the bowlers on the men's side?
Yeah, so I think we were quite lucky with the Manchester Originals. We I think we probably mingled the most out of all the teams. We had great COVID officers, and they made sure everything was safe in a big enough room, ventilated, all that. But we did have a few of the boys come to our training sessions and try and help as much as they can. So we had Finney come down and have a look at us at the Seam Bowlers, and he was just asking me questions on what I was doing. And then he would just ask me a few questions, just trying to get my thought process going, which just helped so much because my cricket knowledge is so new, and I'm learning still, and I needed help with my field placements because bowling against international players was different than just playing club cricket or something. So yeah, I did get a bit of help, to be fair. The lads were really good to us this year.
Yeah, I would have to really try not to be starstruck.
There was like, you stood next to Carl Sprath, like looking up at him, and he's just so cool, and you're trying not to act like a little girl.
Suddenly you're really aware of all your limbs, and you're like, oh god, I can't walk properly. Yeah, I know the one.
And you're like, oh, stop messing with your hands by your side, stand up straight.
Nice. And so then obviously from the 100 you're back into the regional stuff. Have you found that that's really advanced in the last few years?
Yes, definitely. Just the training that we've had, the winter training, just having 3, 4, 5 coaches there every session, you can just tell that money's going into it, and it's really helping us. I can't believe how good the Thunder teams moved on. And I think about the standard last year, we were kind of counting on 1 or 2 players to try and get us through the game. But this year, there were so many different players who could offer so many different things. And if someone didn't get runs, then we knew that there was going to be some other players that we could rely on. Same with the bowlers. There's just so much talent in the team. And I'm honestly so excited for this winter because we now know what we're getting ourselves into. And I'm excited to see how everyone trains and coming together next year.
And the Charlotte Edwards Cup perhaps didn't go to plan for you guys, but you managed to bounce back in the Rachel Hayhoe Flint Trophy, ending up joint 4th. How much of an improvement do you guys see that as?
Yeah, a huge improvement. You could just see the team from last year. We just kind of said we want to be competitive in every single game. And yeah, this year we not only have we been competitive, that we've also won games that some people might not have thought we'd won. And we do have such a young side. So it's just all about getting experience, growing the players. And yeah, we did better than what we thought. We ended on a high. So yeah, we're happy, but we want to be better next year. So again, we'll be working really hard in the winter.
And one of those key moments for the season for the Northwest Thunder was when Emma Lamb hit her century. What was it like for you guys to be there to witness Emma Lamb's century?
It was so special. Like we train every week together. We know how hard everyone works, and Lammy's just always been such a superstar. And for her to do that, and we were just all so proud of her. She had such a big smile on her face. It was such a great moment. And again, she's making history, which is what we want to do. So yeah, it was such a great event.
Right, and so as we're coming towards the end of our chat, we like to do a thing at the end of all our pods, and it's like a rapid fire questions. So I mean, don't worry, we won't be like delving into your personal life or anything, because you can keep that to yourself. Anyway, so first thing I want to start with is Hannah's favourite one is, what's your favourite sledge?
Ooh, I just go with stupid nicknames. If they do something silly, I just like to pick up on it. I don't have a go-to saying. I just like to take the mick slightly.
Favourite item at a village cricket tee?
Oh, you gotta have chicken nuggets. I love a good chicken nugget. Get me some hot food, tomato sauce. I want chicken nuggets.
Last series you binged?
Ooh, it's got to be Shameless on Netflix. the American one.
In the interest of Lammy, have you got your wedding outfit sorted yet?
Oh, I hope I get invited. I need to go out and get a hat, don't I? I'm so excited for
that. Last book you read?
Oh, it's got to be from college. I don't read books. Sorry.
Favorite reality TV show?
Or I do like Real Housewives of Cheshire. I'm embarrassed to say.
It's not that embarrassing.
Favorite drink?
Pepsi Max.
Okay. Favorite alcoholic drink?
Oh, we'll go with cider. Oh, no, beer. Hard decision. No, I'll go beer. Yeah. We'll go Copperberg. No, Copperberg, that's cider. Oh, I'm messing up. Corona. We'll go Corona.
We'll go Corona with the lime in, obviously.
Oh, I'm allergic to citrus, so I can't do that.
Oh, I'm having that. Oh, noted that one when you come to our Christmas party.
Oh, fabulous.
Favorite genre of music?
Pop. All about what's in the charts. Love new music.
Yeah, get you in the karaoke booth.
Oh yeah, I'll show you what's what.
I have an image of you all at an awards ceremony, just like doing karaoke or something at the end of it.
Oh, that would be very tragic.
Yeah, who's the best singer in the changing room? Who's in charge of the tunes?
Oh, well, to be fair, Danny Collins is in charge of the tunes, but Ellie Threlfeld can hold a tune. She's very good on the ukulele as well.
There you go. You've heard it here first, people.
Who's a better captain, Cross or Hartley?
Oh, you're trying to get me in trouble. Oh, I can't answer that. Oh, we'll go Crossy. Oh, you're getting me in trouble.
Right. Well, Alex, have you got any more?
Favorite musician or artist?
Oh, Billie Eilish, big fan.
Yeah, good call. Headlining Glastonbury next year.
Oh, I want to go.
I know. I know. I can't afford that. I know. It's all tickets left over from last year and stuff, isn't it? But...
Yeah. True.
So before we run out of time, we want our listeners and fans to be able to find you across social media platforms. So if you could just tell us your Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok handles and where our listeners can find you.
Everything is Laura Jacko 22 across everything. So yeah, please find me.
There we go. We love a bit of continuity.
Yeah, it's only a recent thing. I'm really proud of myself.
Well, it gets really confusing otherwise. You're like, well, I'm this on that and then this on there.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Well, Laura, thank you so much for chatting to us. I hope we haven't disrupted your lunchtime too much.
Not at all.
This ramble. You honestly, it's been so fab to talk to you. We can tell you love your cricket.
Oh, thank you so much. Thanks for having me. Love talking to you.
Massive thank you to Laura for coming on and being a guest on the podcast. Georgie and I both really enjoyed this one, and once again, massive congratulations on your professional contract, and we can't wait to see more of those TikTok videos you and Hartley have got going on. It was really great to hear about her cricketing career, how she actually got into cricket, how she ended up going to Australia at 18, getting to go on the MCG, and even being the last Manchester OG to be signed in what was a phenomenal summer for women's cricket. And to all our listeners, if you want to keep up to date with everything we're doing, you can follow us on Twitter at WCricketChat, on Instagram at Women's Cricket Chat, and if you want to give us a like on Facebook, we are Women's Cricket Chat. If you'd like to give our personal Twitters a follow, then it's at Hannity1194, at GeorgieHeath27, at CassieCoombs98, and I'm at Alex Jane Pereira on Twitter. This has been Women's Cricket Chat. Tune in next time.